He's dribbling the ball with everything on the line. He's driving down the pitch. He's facing price hikes and cuts past him. Carrier Contracts tries to block him. Oh, he leaves him in the dust. He's at the edge of the box. He cuts past the nonstop group chat trash talk. He clears on goal. He shoots. Goal! Unlimited data for $25 a month forever!
Visit your local Boost Mobile store today to get unlimited data with a price that never changes. Boost Mobile. After 30 GB, customers may experience lower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost $25 unlimited plan.
Whoever said fork in the road must have been hungry for the Sorrento and Sorrento Turbo Hybrid. Their 3-row seating and 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. With a capable Sorrento and Sorrento Turbo Hybrid, every way forward is the right way. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Drive safely. See retailer for warranty details.
Ever notice how life's best stories don't happen in your living room? They happen on the open road, out on the water, or parked under the stars. At Progressive, they get that you want to focus on the experience, not worry about the what-ifs. That's why they offer quality insurance designed for your ride, whether that's a boat, RV, or motorcycle. Adventure with confidence. Visit Progressive.com and see how easy it is to protect your favorite way to get away. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in D.C. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Last week we watched Wolf Creek.
This week we watched Frog Dreaming.
The connection is creeks. I think there was a creek on screen for about 30 seconds in this movie, so it counts.
I will admit I did see some water in this film, so you know what? I'll let you go and get away with it this time.
Bloody welcome to Oldie but a Goodie, you absolute mad lad larrikins over there listening to the bloody podcast. It's Oldie but a Goodie, the number one podcast in Australia, talking about Australian movies that are connected to other Australian movies that we've also reviewed. I think we can safely say we're the number one in that niche. I think that's fair.
Hosted by two white people.
Yeah.
Very appropriate for this movie, I feel.
One of who is from New Zealand and the other one is vaguely Spanish and Italian.
I mean, that's the most Australian thing we have here. I feel like
that's
a
true.
podcast of non-Australian Australians is the most Australian. You know?
Well, on this week's episode, we're reviewing Frog Dreaming, and we're going to get even more Australian by bringing in our favorite American guest, Robert from Crooked Table. How are you doing?
Doing good, guys. Thanks for having me on for the only movie in this poll I hadn't heard of.
Yeah.
Yep. I've been, there's a reason why I was trying to get Robert on a Australian movie episode, and we'll get to that in a second, but I've been messaging you for about 2 months, being like, okay, all of these Australian movies are going to go up in a poll. Do you want to do any of them? And you're like, yes, excellent. This one was up in a poll with 3 other movies you had heard of, and I did kind of want to watch, but then this one won. And so we were like, all right, we'll just get you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm too far. I'm too deep now at this point.
But I do like that. I feel like every time we have an international guest, we do usually at some point make them watch one of the most obscure Australian films.
I mean, who would have voted for this one on the poll? I can't imagine what kind of twisted, demented human would do that.
All of our wonderful patrons over at Patreon. Thank you for voting on this one.
I definitely didn't vote on any of these movies, especially not this one.
Fairly certain you voted on all of them from last week. But
no, I think I didn't vote on one of them.
Oh, the Coca-Cola one. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to do the Coca-Cola one. Stuff Coca-Cola. Although I think it's about anti-Coca-Cola, right?
That's fair.
It's probably fine.
But, yeah, Robert, we wanted to get you on the episode. It's been a while since you've been on the show. You were on, I think about 2 years ago to talk about Spawn. So I think, Spawn, frogs, how about that? How's that connection?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on like a nice yearly like guesting rhythm, and then I don't know, Spawn completely threw us out of rhythm, I guess.
Yeah.
We needed time to recover.
Yeah. Well, I came on your podcast last year to talk about Superman 3, and I think that also, just that mixed in with Spawn, it was just like, okay, we'll just do one. We'll just do one a year instead of the two appearances on each other's shows.
I did have a question for you before we began, and it was about recently, quotation marks, because this is the podcast and time moves on and other things, but the 4th of July happened.
Yes.
Big American holiday. Now, we in Australia, we definitely celebrate it. We love it. It's one of our favorite holidays. But I just wanted to ask how that went for you.
It went fine. I mean, it's like, you know, the climate here is divisive, to say the least, and so your mileage may vary with how much you want to celebrate things. But we were very low key, and especially in my household, a lot of us were under the weather from like all of the birthdays that we have. My wife and I, we had all of our birthdays at the end of June. So in early July, we were like, yeah. So we survived. We got through it. Let's put it that way.
Oh, excellent. That's great. Cool. And I think in terms of the timing, you would have probably watched this movie around that day as well.
I think so. Perfect. I was celebrating 4th of July watching Frog Dreaming, essentially.
Can't think of a more American way to do it.
Well, I wanted to get you on an Australian movie because you have a few podcasts, franchise detours I've been on a few times, Zach as well, where you review a bunch of very fun, exciting franchises. I'm sure you'll be able to talk more about that as well in a second. But you also have an Australian-themed podcast that you've recently started.
I do. We're about like almost 60 episodes into Back to Bluey.
Oh, wow.
So my co-host and I talk about the Australian animated series Bluey, like one episode at a time, relating to it not only as like pop culture fanatics, but also dads, and kind of relaying our own experience with the show and all that. And that's been really fun. I've been trying to get Sandro, and I'll extend this invite to Zach as well, to try and get an Australian perspective on our show, because we're two Americans being like, what's this then? Breaking down Bluey.
Absolutely.
Anytime you guys are open to that, would love to have you.
Absolutely. I think I definitely want to come on it. I think I need to do a lot of homework though, because I am, as an Australian, I am a little bit ashamed to admit I've never watched a full episode of Bluey. I've seen clips, but I've never actually sat down to watch it. Zach, have you watched a bit of it?
I've watched a bit of Bluey, mostly via my roommates who are big fans of Bluey, which is fair enough. I think it's a good show. It's a great show. I think a lot of the world would agree with me in that. So it's not exactly a bold take to have, but it's a great show. So I collect the coins mostly.
Nice. I feel like at the moment, and you guys can weigh in on this, would you say that is the most prominent Australian pop cultural export is Bluey? And what was it before that?
I think so. I want to say Blue's Clues to be funny, but it might have been the Wiggles, maybe?
The Wiggles is a big one.
I don't know how popular the Wiggles was.
Yeah, no, they're pretty big over here.
But I can't think of anything else that is like similar to Bluey size. I think Bluey's a big one.
Bluey's a very big one. I feel like Bluey is like definitely transcended being an Australian export to the point where it's just a massive international property at this point, and that's such a great effort from everyone involved. I'm trying to think of other examples. I feel like everything else that comes close is kind of like a more niche, like a Talk to Me that did pretty well. That movie did well.
That was a good one. But
that also is like just one movie. It's not like a massive TV show IP. I don't think there's much else really. I think Bluey is definitely one of the biggest ones. I mean, Crocodile Dundee, but that's
right back in the day. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like the Mad Max franchise. I'm trying to think of like what
that's true.
The stereotype is outside Australia for when people think of Australia in pop culture. It's probably that. But Bluey's definitely a more positive depiction.
Chris Hemsworth
than a wasteland.
Oh yeah.
Chris Hemsworth,
Hugh
Kano
Jackman
from
Oh, Kano. Kano's probably our biggest. Kano might be bigger than Bluey.
Oh, Kano's awesome.
But I think before Bluey, if ignoring Crocodile Dundee, I think the biggest export probably was the movie Frog Dreaming, which we'll get into our review of. Thank you. Which we'll get into our review of now. If you don't know what the movie is, we'll talk about spoilers in a bit, but for a quick non-spoiler premise, it's E.T., but Australia. And there's a thing in a pond, and a kid's got to figure out what it is. That's basically it.
Pretty
Somehow in the movie without aliens, it's more racist, I think.
Okay, yeah, we'll get into our first impressions of it in a second. I want to first, before Zach and I talk about it, you know, being not only from Australia, but also being from Victoria, which is where this movie is set. I actually live reasonably close to where this movie is set at the moment as well. Only a couple hours away. I want to throw it over first to Robert. First impressions of this movie, and also like going into it. Did you know anything about this?
I knew nothing about this. I had to, because I'm in the United States, I had to look for it under The Quest, which is, we'll get into the titles, but that's what I saw it labeled as in my library related like streaming app, which is the only place I could find it. I don't believe it's streaming anywhere over here. Which we'll get into some of the reasons why. But no, I knew it was Henry Thomas from E.T. and that he was a big focus on the marketing. And after seeing it, I'm like, I get it. It's Australian Amblin, essentially.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. That's I feel like that's kind of what I thought as well. I remember I saw the poster, and the poster's like this really cool hand-drawn, almost like 80s metal, like fantasy metal poster. I thought it was quite cool.
I literally downloaded the poster because I thought it looked so sick.
It's so cool.
It has nothing to do with the movie, like a lot of it. But it looks incredible.
It does.
Looking up the posters for this was awesome.
And I think I think friend of the show Rob Lloyd has watched it. But aside from that, I had not. I just remember coming across the poster and putting it on the up to watch list like a couple years ago. And so you know, when the option came up, I chucked it in as an option, so here we go. So yeah. Not many like expectations at all going into this, aside from the fact that everyone's like, it was Steven Spielberg made an Australian movie, which I kind of anyway. First impressions, Robert. What did you think of the movie?
I see what it's going for. There's elements of it that I like. I actually think the like human story side of it works a lot better than the quote mystery at the center of it. I think Henry Thomas has some really good moments, but a lot of it is like, hey, remember that thing? Here's a different version of it. Like it literally opens with the guy on a boat, but on a lake, like freaking out. And I'm like, so this is just like kind of Jaws on a lake, essentially.
Yeah.
So a lot of sequences feel like that. I'm like, okay, so this is Jaws meets E.T. meets Goonies meets etc. Insert 80s, you know, family friendly adventure here. There's elements of it that I think are interesting and trying something, but I don't know if I would say overall the whole thing holds together.
I 100% hear what you're saying. In terms of the Australianness of it as well, did you find that it, like, how Australian do you think this is? That's kind of a weird question, but I just want to put it out there.
I mean, as an American watching this, I'm like, I feel like a lot of this is offensive as an American watching it in 2026. I'm like, I feel like this is problematic. Like obviously not an authority to speak to that, but just that was the vibe I was getting with some of it, especially with the whole Donkagen of it all and the Aboriginal side of what what Cody is trying to investigate. Cody, played by Henry Thomas, aforementioned. But also, like, a lot of that was a question I wanted to ask you guys. Does any of this make sense to you guys as Australians, or do you like statements like, now is that as flash as a rat with a gold tooth stand out to you as some Hollywood Ozploitation nonsense?
Oh, that's such a good question. I feel like a lot of the like Australian dialogue, I feel like it's reasonably accurate. Zach.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There was a lot in this that I hadn't heard before. There was a line where a kid's like, where a kid was like, I'm gonna smash spiders on your toothbrush or something like that. And I'm like, that feels not very accurate.
Whatever that statement is, and the statement you just said, I had never heard before in my entire life.
Yeah.
So definitely some Hollywood gobbledygook there. Yeah. I feel like we have watched worse films on the offensive line, though, Sandro. Like, it's bad, it's not good, but I feel like we've seen worse. And I liked the ideas behind it, just the execution was just very poor, I feel.
Yeah, in terms of the problematicness, I mean, I went into it skeptical to begin with, because the title is Frog Dreaming, and dreaming is an Indigenous Australian thing, and I was like, it's the 80s, are they going to do anything correct with it? Pretty much immediately they don't, and we'll get into that in spoilers. I feel like it toes the line between being problematic and then also not when you get closer to the ending, but then it circles back around again, and we'll get into all of that. Yes. I don't know. Did you find this particularly racist, Zach? There was definitely a lot in there that was.
It was a shame, because one of the reasons I wanted to watch this movie was the Aboriginal ties, because I think some of the stories of the Aboriginal, like, religion? I don't know if religion is the right word, but like their traditional stories that they've passed down from mouth to mouth for like thousands of generations are really cool and awesome, and I love them a lot. They're some of my favorites, and so that's why I personally was invested in the story. I'm like, oh, is this going to actually go into deep Aboriginal lore and discover these things? And I like the idea of like white people messing with thing they don't understand, and then comeuppance happens to white people, and the white people, like, at the end they're like, man, we should really leave this alone. We don't know what we're doing, sort of thing. Yeah, I like that idea, and I feel like this film did not encapsulate that in any way.
Yeah, I feel like there's points where it's like characters are saying the wrong thing. Like they describe spots as frog dreaming spots, which isn't a thing. Like a dreaming is more of a constant. It's not like this particular spot is the dreaming. Like that's kind of like saying, oh, that table over there is heaven. That's not real. That's not at all accurate to to any of it. But like there were points where I'm like, okay, but is it on purpose because it's a bunch of white kids just who aren't informed properly? But then there's some stuff near the end where I'm like, oh, okay.
How reliable is the information that comes out of a 7-year-old that heavily smokes? Like, I don't know.
That's true. That's true.
Hard to say.
Did you like it overall, though? Are you leaning negative or leaning positive or leaning indifferent, Robert?
It's kind of in the middle. I'm kind of in the middle right now, and we'll see how by the end of this conversation if I'm swayed one way or the other. I think the movie kind of leads you down one path, and then at the very end, it's like, haha, just kidding. Like it tries to do like a gotcha thing at varying points, and we won't get into specifics now. But I was kind of like, well, I feel like you can't do that. You can't have it both ways. Like this is this, and then nope, it is not. And then
you're in a tough spot here, because if you say you hated it, you hate Australians.
Oh, that's true.
Racist.
This is the film you've chosen to represent Australia, is what you're saying.
Yeah. And if you liked it, then you like racism, which makes you also racist. So you're in a rough spot here either way.
I took the safe option C, TBD. I'll let you know. I'll let you know based on what you guys think.
Yeah. Excellent. That's the safe way to do it. I looked up this movie because it's kind of funny sometimes to go on Reddit and have a look at what people think of these movies. I found a Reddit thread where there was someone like, "Oh, this movie is such a gem, but I'm sure those kids will say it's racist or whatever." And then I was like, "You're literally American. You don't know why this is like you don't." I thought it was very funny.
They don't know if it's racist or not. Therefore, they're saying, "Oh yeah, you guys would probably say it's racist, but to me, it's not that offensive." So makes sense.
What did you think, Zach? You leaning because I'm kind of in the middle as well.
I can tell you what I am firmly on one side of the fence because I'm not a fence sitter over here. I'm either jumping in the creek or I'm leaving. I'm not sitting on the fence. I'm going to give it an oldie. Specifically because I think there are better representations of Aboriginal stories and other things out there.
Oh, absolutely.
And this could have been handled a lot better. Like, for example, the main antagonist, I'll say that vaguely, I don't want to spoil anything, is not to do with anything actually Aboriginal in real life.
Totally, yes.
You know what I mean?
They aren't like actually doing any of the stories. They're just being like, here's a word.
Yes, they're kind of making things up for this movie, which I think is a shame because I think there's a lot of cool stories out there that you could have taken from, but maybe that would have been worse if they had taken from actual stories. So it's like, would I have trusted this team and directory to use an actual story? I don't know. So it could have been a lot worse. We've seen a lot worse, but I'm definitely going to call it an oldie. And I think I don't think I'm going to be suggesting this to anybody in particular over a different movie. You know what I mean?
No, that's
I think
fair.
also another red flag is like when you look it up on the internet or Reddit or wherever, they're always like, "Oh, it's a movie like in the line with the Goonies and the Monster Squad and Flight of the Navigator." I'm like, you just named better movies. So I don't. Where is this going in the pantheon of this subgenre? This like early mid '80s kids on an adventure on a quest. To be fair with the title, at least over here, like it doesn't hold a particular place of esteem even among like its contemporaries, I guess.
Yeah, this is very much like as you said, the Australian Goonies or Monster Squad. Which, I mean, it's cool that we tried to make a movie like that. I always think, we don't make a whole lot of media outside of music over here because it's too expensive and our government doesn't give us any funding. But, it's cool that in the 80s we were experimenting a bit and doing some exploitation for kids. I think that, that's pretty cool. But also, when you compare it to those, they are better movies. And so this movie's not allowed to really live on its own. I also feel like being like a kid's version of the Goonies, that's just the TV show Round the Twist, which is incredible, and just watch that. I don't know if you've heard of that one, Robert. It's one of the weirdest shows ever.
Around the Twist is a fever dream. It's literally like a fever dream in some episodes. I can tell you, as a kid watching that growing up, it was really like, what different type of shrooms did they take this week to write the script for this movie? It was Australian Doctor Who, essentially, right?
Yeah.
Except instead of having like a run through plot or anything, just anything could happen. Literally anything. They would just do whatever. Just random stuff would happen. I could give you an example of the memory I have burnt into my head. There's two episodes that are burnt into my head, but one of them is particularly burnt into my head.
I wonder if it's the same one that's in mine. Let's see.
Yeah, it probably is, because I think I've talked about it before, but it's the one where an ice cream machine comes to life. An ice cream machine, a soft-serve ice cream machine is turned into a real boy, much like the story of Pinocchio, and then, lives out his day or whatever, being a real human who can dispense soft serve from his nostril Then people are like, yummy, give me some more, yes.
Yeah.
Pour from your nostril. And then at the end of it, he decides that life isn't worth living and he would rather be a soft-served ice cream machine again because it was a much simpler existence.
Yeah.
And then he turns back. And I'm pretty sure that's it. I was like, as a child, it was a good time.
It's basically that show is basically Tales from the Crypt, but Australian and kind of for kids, but also very inappropriate. But it is technically for kids. So
here we had like a whole run of those kinds of shows. I feel like with like Are You Afraid of the Dark on Nickelodeon. I think the Goosebumps TV show was sort of a similar kind of Twilight Zone for kids. So yeah, and Round the Twist for any American listeners is streaming on Amazon Prime over here. So I might have to find that ice cream episode, and next time I talk to you guys, be like, so last time we talked, Round the Twist, what the heck was that?
I honestly...
and give you some feedback.
And like, if you watch that episode and you want to start up a separate podcast with Zach and I reviewing every episode of Round the Twist, I'm sure that we'd be down for that as well. I'm sure that would be...
Oh, that's great. I think the other episode I remember is one where a boy gets the power to turn any inanimate object to life.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Those
are the two episodes. Yeah. And so he just can grant anything sentient. I think anything he's near is granted sentience. So he like just talks to inanimate object. He gets like schizophrenia or something for a day. It's crazy. It's wild.
Yeah.
These episodes.
Yeah. Pretty great stuff. Anyway,
what are you rating it, Sandro?
Me?
So yeah. I'm pushing you off the fence first.
Look, I was having a look at my notes, and at the bottom of my notes, I usually write what my final score is going to be, because I usually can decide at the end of watching the movie, but for this one, it's just a bunch of question marks.
Okay, I can see why you might be on the fence for this one. That's fair.
I liked the first, despite the racism, I liked the first hour, and then I feel like the quality steadily dropped off. I can't really recommend this. I'll give it an oldie as well, even though I wanted to like it, and I think there's some good stuff in it, but overall, I'll give it an oldie. How about you, Robert?
Yeah, I'm going oldie as well. Like I said, there's a lot of elements in here that are promising, but like you could see them, like if you want to see Henry Thomas lead a movie like this, just watch E.T.
Yeah,
like
I knew it. You did hate Australia.
There's better movies like this, and what it tries to do, it doesn't, like you guys have been saying, it doesn't execute particularly well, at least not enough to hold up 40 years later. So yeah, no, I'm definitely going oldie as well.
Yeah, another oldie there as well. Before we get into, I guess we'll do alternate taglines. No, we'll do alternate titles and taglines. But before we get into that, this movie is written and directed by two people who have made a lot of Australian cinema. So, as a recommendation for yourself, Robert, and to anyone else who is listening in that is not super familiar with Australian movies, the film Frog Dreaming is directed by Brian Trenchard Smith, who did direct BMX Bandits, which is probably the best Australian kids movie. At least by reputation. I haven't seen it. It was an option a couple of weeks ago and we didn't do it, but apparently that one's very good, so definitely check that out. But the movie's written by Everett de Roach. Zach, he wrote Razorback, which I think is the best Australian movie ever.
Ah, yeah, I would say so. Probably.
It's about a giant pig that kills people. That's
Nice.
that's the whole film. It's incredible stuff. Give that one a watch. All right, this movie was released in a bunch of countries under different titles. So we know it as Frog Dreaming in Australia, but that's definitely a hard title, I think, to sell outside of Australia. So Robert, it's called The Quest for You. Do you feel like that title works for the movie?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. In doing research for this episode, I looked up the alternate titles as well, and I was like, so none of these are really that good, to be honest. I mean, Frog Dreaming is at least representative because we get, 10 minutes of B-roll of frogs just hanging out in this film.
Yeah.
I think Frog Dreaming's a great name. If I saw Frog Dreaming out there, I had no idea it was Australian or Aboriginal, I'd be like, what the heck is this movie? I want to see this, I want to know what it is, It's intriguing.
Intriguing, definitely. But I think the quest is not the worst title here. I think the UK title might be the worst one. It's called Okay, it's called The Go Kids.
What?
I don't.
The Go Kids?
The Go Kids, yeah, kind of like the go karts, except it's kids. The Go Kids.
Yeah, but what?
I don't know why.
Is there a lot of go karts in this movie that I missed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he goes down a hill at some point, but he wasn't riding a go-kart. He was riding a weird bike contraption thing. Like, what?
Yeah.
I feel like even the quest is closer than that one, because at least he goes on a mission. I wouldn't call it a quest, but he goes on a mission in this movie.
Yeah. The German title is The Spirit Chaser, which...
That's a better name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best one so far.
I would agree. I would take The Spirit Chaser over Frog Dreaming, actually.
And then the Finland and Bulgaria titles are kind of following off from that. We got Fighting Spirits and The Boy Who Chases Ghosts. I think Spirit Chaser is still better, but, they're good titles. And then the Italian title is The Mystery of the Dark Lake, which sure.
I like that one as well.
Okay.
Sounds like
that one up there.
It sounds like an episode around the twist. Actually.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So true.
Except that would be like
listen to Mr. Australian expert over here. God damn. Yeah.
It's true, yeah. You can say that for just about anything. That sounds like an episode of Round the Twist. Honestly, use it in your day-to-day conversations with everyone and report back in the year, and I'm sure that that you'll be more Australian than us by saying that.
I feel like the was it Chasing Spirits?
Yes.
What was that one again?
Yeah. The Spirit Chaser.
The Spirit Chaser is just a good title for a movie as well. Like, when I heard The Spirit Chaser, I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. I want to see that.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's do taglines. There's so many, so strap in.
Oh, yeah? Pick your favorites.
You gotta give them a thumb up or a thumb down, depending on whether or not you like it. Cody is an adventurer who is about to explore the depths of a legend. The legend of frog dreaming.
That is the movie.
Yeah.
Shaky side thumb?
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't want to open with a shaky side thumb, but I'm like, it's the movie. It's not a crazy tagline.
I'm seeing the poster that has that tagline on it, and it does make the movie title look like The Legend of Frog Dreaming, which is a strange choice.
The Legend of Frog Dreaming sounds like a better one.
That's a better title than just Frog Dreaming. Yeah.
Definitely.
It's too long. I mean, there's something there that works. Like the depths of a legend sounds like explore the depths of a legend. Right. But like, I never understand taglines that have character names in them. We don't know who this person, unless it's like a biopic or something.
Yes.
Cody is an adventurer. I don't know who Cody is. I don't care. Sell me on what he's doing, not who he is.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%.
That's true.
So just explore the depths of a legend would work, but I don't need all the backstory.
All right,
of Cody.
I'm retroactively turning it to a thumbs down.
There you go.
Sense.
Happy to help, Zach.
Okay, how about an adventure for the hero in all of us?
That's not the worst. You know what? I'll give that a thumbs up.
Wow, okay.
It's a solid tagline. I don't know that it describes this movie, but I'll approve of the tagline.
It doesn't. Yeah. It's a lie. However, it's good. Like, I think that's a good tagline for like a kid's film. You know what I mean?
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
I feel like
if I'm 5, that sounds awesome.
Totally. I feel like that is a better tagline for E.T. because I think he plays more of like an everyday kid in that. In this one, he's way too smart for anyone to relate to. So I don't think. Okay, how about the greatest adventure of childhood is about to begin? Sounds like
boo, thumbs down.
Oh my god,
I don't agree.
A terrifying encounter tests the courage of a young boy when he becomes the Spirit Chaser. That one might be for the other.
That might be for the Spirit Chaser, yeah.
For the Spirit Chaser, yeah. I'll give it a thumbs up because I like the Spirit Chaser as a title.
Yeah, I like conceptually. I think it's better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got 2 more here. When does the legend end and reality begin? I can't with that one.
That's a question I ask myself every day. So
yeah.
I'll give it a thumbs down because I know the ending of this movie.
You know what? I'll be bold and I'll say thumbs up just because it's making me think.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, frog dreaming. Okay. I'm engaged. You have my attention.
All right. And the final one, we'll end it on a bang. When Henry Thomas waved goodbye to E.T., he had no idea what was coming up next.
What? That's a great tagline, because, I wouldn't, if I was that young actor, I would also not have predicted this, you know?
Yeah.
Wait, is it implying that the universes are connected?
I guess.
I think that's just
crazy.
Hoping 10% of the audience is just like, oh, an ET sequel? Cool.
Yeah. Oh, it's absolutely like, hey, you liked ET, right? Please watch this. Please.
He's dribbling the ball with everything on the line. He's driving down the pitch. He's facing price hikes and cuts past him. Carrier contracts, tries to block him. Oh, he leaves him in the dust. He's at the edge of the box. He cuts past the nonstop group chat trash talk. He clears on goal and he shoots. Goal! Unlimited data for $25 a month forever!
Visit your local Boost Mobile store today to get unlimited data with a price that never changes. Boost Mobile. After 30 GB, customers may experience lower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost $25 unlimited plan.
You're more than just one thing. And your vehicle should have more too. More connectivity when you're the boss. Hey Google, when's my next meeting? More space when you're the ringleader. And we're good. And when you're the mom. Everyone in. The all-new Mazda CX-5. More to move every side of you. Learn more at MazdaUSA.com.
Google is a trademark of Google LLC. Sequences shortened and simulated.
Well, howdy there. Selly McSella here, back with another ad. And for some normal people, Christmas means presents and fun time with families. But for me, a humble podcast ad man, Christmas is going over to patreon.com/Oldie But a Goodie Pod to listen to Sandro and Zach do their 5th annual Cagerama. 6 bonus podcast episodes on Nicolas Cage movies, starting with the Spider-Man TV show Spider Noir. Here's a clip. It started off very grounded.
Yes.
And there was a couple episodes where I went, man, he is playing this pretty straight. But nope.
Yeah.
Nope. You have him pretending to be an actual spider, because his version of Spider-Man is he acts like a spider and then he had to relearn how to be a human. So he has like spider-like tendencies where his legs are like flicking around and shit.
Yeah. I think that's a good interpretation of Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
But it makes sense for his character because it's not, I got bitten by a radioactive spider and now I have Spider-Man powers. No. It's quite different because he gets bitten by an experimented on prisoner of war that has like a giant spider fucking body.
I don't think I've ever said this before in one of these promos, but I was actually inspired to become a voiceover artist by watching Nicolas Cage movies. Something about the way he yelled made me really excited to just get on a microphone and go, yeehaw, I'm an American. Well, you can listen to the boys reviewing Spider Noir over at patreon.com/Oldie But a Goodie Pod. Get that bonus episode, get the rest of the season. It's going to be a fun one. You can also get ad-free episodes there as well. That's patreon.com/Oldie But a Goodie Pod. I'm not very good at doing an impression of the Cage-ster. All right, we'll jump into spoilers now. We'll go through the plot of Frog Dreaming. It might take a while, it might not. Who knows? Oh, I do want to quickly talk about the font, though. Robert, we are big font guys here on the podcast. I liked the green, bubbly font that this movie had for its title. What did you think of the opening?
It's very froggy, so I appreciate that. On theme. Yeah. I have plenty of notes. None of them are about the font. Let's put it that way.
There you go.
I'm fine with it. I think it worked.
Is one of your first notes about how much B-roll there is of frogs for the first
kind of. Yeah, because it goes on to like I think 7 minutes in or something until you actually see a human being.
Yeah.
It's just frogs chilling for a while.
And as you mentioned, it opens kind of like a Jaws, except it's in a lake, and there's this guy in a boat. I think he's fishing, and very slowly he's like, oh, there's something underneath the water, and it definitely sets the movie up to be a bit more of a I guess more in line with like the Monster Squad, or I mean even E.T., where it's kind of got that horror-ish element to it, whereas I don't think that really returns at all after this opening.
Yeah. Do you know what it reminded me of, Sandro?
What did it remind you of?
Well, we watched a horror movie about nature rising up.
Nature rising up
to murder a whole bunch of peoples on an island in a rich house sort of thing. That also involved frogs very heavily, except it didn't at all, because it was a movie
you were talking about.
That I picked specifically
Yeah.
to watch frogs murder people, and then nothing was murdered by frogs. And with this opening, I was like, oh, maybe I'm going to get what I want. Maybe I'm going to see a bunch of frogs murder people. Unfortunately, once again, I was let down by the movies, and I was not given the frog murder I was quite asking for. But hey, maybe one day. Maybe one day.
Keep searching.
That movie you're referring to, it is called Frogs. That's episode 259.
Yeah.
That was shit. That was really, really bad.
That was worse than this one, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. I think the first thing that I noticed as well was I was like, this looks very, like, close to Melbourne. Like, a lot of the locations and stuff, I was like, I don't know if I've been here, but it looks more similar to, especially considering last week we did Wolf Creek, which is set in Western Australia and South Australia as well, and then Captain Invincible, that was Sydney. So I was like, oh, are we actually going to be in Victoria for this one? And yeah, a lot of this movie was filmed in the real town of Woods Point, which is very close to where I am at the moment, although I am moving. So I will no longer be close to the location of frog dreaming, but maybe Zach and I can head out there and
absolutely
and have a look. I think there was a section of it that was the tracks of Puffing Billy. Zach, I don't know if you've ever been on Puffing Billy.
I've been on Puffing Billy. Puffing Billy was goated, dude.
Yeah,
it's very expensive nowadays, though.
Oh, I bet.
It is a tourist trap.
That is a train that goes through the woods, and you can stick your legs out the window, Robert. That's nice. That's what that is. Yeah.
Or your head, if you really want to hurt your eyes by all the dust and stuff flicking up at you, you know?
Nice.
But yeah, we're introduced to Cody. He's living in this small town. He's built a railway bike for no real reason. I don't really know what the point of that is, just to get around quicker, I guess. But when a train comes, he has to jump off of it because it's going to get hit by a train. Seems like he didn't really think this through.
I hate this opening. I was very annoyed because I don't know what's going on. As you say, the premise of this, also, it's the most obvious, like, well, this is clearly a small town. If everybody's getting up in arms about this one kid doing this silly stunt, it's like, oh, this is a small town. This is before the internet was invented, you know.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing anything that is interesting whatsoever, because this one kid who's like kind of like an inventory kid, whatever, that sort of trope, is doing one of his crazy stunts, and nearly half the fucking town shows up to watch him do it.
Yep.
And they're all like cheering him on and stuff. And all he's trying to do is bike down to the local school so he can get there faster.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, is this really what everybody's like dedicating their time and effort into watching? I'm like, what's going on? And as you say, train coming. Oh no. If only you could have seen that coming while riding train tracks, that there might be a train in the future. Like, what?
What?
Was it an unscheduled train?
It almost seemed like it was part of the thrill for him. He's like, I'm going to ride it on the train tracks and then, get off way before there's a train. And then, of course, the train showed up at the inopportune time. But I think it was part of the stunt that he was trying to do, is the way I understood it.
It might be why the cop is so mad at him. Yeah. Is because he knew a train was coming and knew how dangerous it was. But it is like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Why is everybody so excited about this?
It does fall into that classic, like, kids' adventure movie trope where, we have the cop who is one of the many adults who just kind of picks on him the whole the whole movie.
Yeah.
He's like, your imagination's wild, kid. That's just basically every interaction the cop has.
It feels like it's also just an excuse to get Henry Thomas back on a bike as soon as possible. To be like, look, the kid from E.T. on a bike. He's not flying, but he's trying to like play chicken with a train. So that's exciting, right?
Yeah. And Robert, what did you? I don't feel like we ever told Cody's backstory or why this American kid is in a rural Victorian town.
Right.
What did you think was going on here? What did you pick up?
I mean, they get to it eventually. At first, I'm like, so we're just gonna not comment on why this American orphan is just hanging out in Australia with this random dude. But it turns out that Gaza was best friends with his dad, and so he's kind of sort of quasi adopted him. It's like he's a father figure, but mostly just kind of lets him stay there. And it's like, I don't know, he just wanders around. Doesn't sound like there's any actual parenting going on, which I found interesting. I'm like, maybe he wouldn't be racing trains if Gaza paid any attention to him. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a point where it's a bit later on in the movie, but there's a point where he goes on a bike trip down to near where you live, Zach, to meet this random old guy that he knows. And I'm like, if he actually went to that location from where this movie is set, he was on his bike for about 12 hours, just right.
Yeah. Well, clearly he rode the tracks and used jet propulsion or something, you know.
Yeah.
I would like to point out, I think it's very clear why he's here. Okay. I don't know why you guys haven't pointed that out.
Why is he here?
Oh, well, after the events of E.T., clearly he had to go underground to get away from the government, right?
Oh, right, yes.
Because they want to, question him. They're like, hey, you knew this alien, they're going to poke prod him and thing. So clearly he's been sent down to this family friend in Australia in the middle of batshit nowhere where he can work on his bike, which had alien powers at one point. Maybe he's trying to get it to fly again.
Oh, maybe it's the same bike.
I don't know. Yeah.
Wasn't there... You might have to correct me if I'm wrong, Robert. You might know more than me, but wasn't there an E.T. sequel that they were making at some point, and it was like something a bit darker? I think
there was something being kind of talked about, but nothing ever came to fruition. I actually think this movie could, with some reshoots, could have worked as sort of a weird E.T. sequel. That he is kind of like, he had to move away. He's Cody Walpole is a new fake name, his new identity that he started with, and he just can't help but find like mysteries and conspiracy everywhere he goes. Yeah. If at the end you had it be like alien related, the big twist, I think you would have been like, oh, he was vindicated this whole time. The aliens were still watching over him or something. Definitely. It would kind of work as an E.T. sequel, weirdly.
Yeah, I think that's why, like, he's riding a bike in those scenes, is they had a vague idea of, like, oh, maybe in the future we'll make this a sequel, we're not sure what the writers are doing right now, Let's shoot these scenes, and then maybe we can work it as a sequel, and it just did not, pan out at all in that way, so they just have these random scenes where, for no particular reason, he's riding a bike. Ooh,
Yeah, pretty much. But let's talk about some of these characters that are in the town. We've got Cody and Gaza, as we've talked about, and the cop who doesn't do anything. There's a bunch of other guys who hang out with... Is it the deputy? There's just a bunch of guys who hang out in a pub, and we keep cutting to them.
Well, that's the most Australian part of this film, I think. That was the only thing. That was a truly Australian scene if I've ever seen it in my life.
Zach, we have to mention all of the VB product placement that is in this movie.
Was it VB product placement, or was it just a real-life Australian bloke living his best life, doing what we do best, which is drink VB, my beer of choice.
Beer of choice.
Hashtag definitely sponsored by VB.
If you're unfamiliar, and I'm fairly certain everyone outside of Victoria probably is, VB is a very famous beer that's pretty bad, but it's also very
Whoa.
cheap and it's iconic.
Whoa, you can't say that on air.
my comedy rap duo, Kegel and Greg, our go-to drink was VB. We have songs about it. We wore VB merch constantly. It's just such a Australian thing. But I feel like a lot of the time when people think about Australian beer, they think about Foster's, which actually you just can't get here at all. It's impossible. I've never had.
As someone who works at a bottler, a good old grog shop, I can tell you we did at some point sell Foster's, but we do not sell Foster's anymore. And only occasionally someone will ask for a Foster's, and I'm like, I don't know, you're going to have to go to Dan's, mate. We don't sell it here.
Don't have that here. But there's a crate of Foster's in the movie at some point. So I guess they managed to, in the 80s. I don't know. Don't know how much you know about Australian beer,
I don't think I've ever
Robert.
had a Foster before.
Well, we do. I mean, Foster's is prevalent here. Weirdly.
Yeah. It's a big American thing,
Yeah, it is a big American thing. It's like Foster's, Australian for beer. And if you like Google Foster's beer, one of the things people also ask, is Foster's really Australian for beer? I'm like, who thought that, first of all? But yeah, so that's the beer representing Australia over here, sadly.
Is it any good? Have you had it?
Not really.
I
think I've had it like once, and I was like, "This is fine." But I also think a lot of the mainstream U.S. beers are not great either, to be honest, like the Budweisers and things like that.
That's true. We do have Budweiser's kind of hard to get in Australia, but whenever I go to a screening that a movie studio puts on, and I have been going to a few recently, check out my new movie reviews I've been posting here every week, they usually do give out Budweiser, and I've had one, and I pretty quickly went back to Carlton Draft, which is another Australian one.
Ooh, shots fired. Shots fired. All right, boys, calm down. All your beer is shit. It's all good.
Zach, what's the best beer? No, we're going to be here all day.
What's the best beer? I don't know. Corona. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
That'll go.
That's a good one.
Mexican beer.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I don't know. I like Stone and Wood. That one's good.
Stone and Wood is actually probably the best Australian. We should get
it's also
that out there
super expensive now.
Oh,
when I started drinking it back in my day, it was cheaper than VB. That's not a joke. It was a couple of dollary dues cheaper. Nowadays, it's like $8 more. Fucking hell, I'm not rich, you know. I'm just gonna get a VB, you know.
What's your beer of choice, Robert? This is the topic.
I mean, I try and do a lot of the craft beers, but we have a lot of them here in Florida. I think the closest to what you're describing in the VB is like if it's like here we have like cheap kind of crappy but like sufficient beer, which would be like when I was in my 20s, like Pabst Blue Ribbon, like also crappy, but it's like $2 at the bar or whatever.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it's kind of that similar vibe with that. But
absolutely,
But I usually try and avoid a lot of the mainstream ones. And now I'm like, do they have Stone and Wood near me? Like, where can I find that around here? So I'll keep you posted on my search.
Yeah. Oh, it'll be expensive if it's around there.
Yes, definitely.
I was trying to think, what are some of the common beers over there? There's one I think it's pretty like one-on-one. Is it Budweiser? It can't be Budweiser.
No, but I mean, Budweiser's probably the most. I think probably the most popular, I guess, in air quotes, in the U.S. But I mean, we also have like other like similar ones like Coors and Miller, and there's Sam Adams and
I saw Coors. Coors is popular.
Yeah, Coors is popular here. Again, I feel like probably I'm shitting on all the like beer drinkers of those kinds of things, but
I was thinking of Bud Light. That was the one I was thinking of. Is the parallel Bud Light and VB?
They are practically identical, actually. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is Bud Light actually a light beer, or is it just called that?
Yeah, I believe it's a light
beer
version of Budweiser, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Oh, I see. So maybe Budweiser is what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's the sort of thing I think of as like equivalent to VB. But
yeah. Do love
What were we talking about?
Other characters. One of the kids with the train thing is Wendy, played by Rachel Friend. She's the love interest. Maybe he doesn't seem particularly into.
He doesn't care at all.
But we got her, and
she's into him.
We got her and her sister. I think is Jane. The joke is that Jane is the younger one, and she's constantly saying shit and talking about herpes and just stuff like that, which is classic Australian humor.
And also torturing her mother with like a weird like pulley contraption. Like, the child is a demon, I think.
It really is. And the mother is actually played... I was really surprised to see her in this. The mother is Katie Manning, who is in Doctor Who. She was in Doctor Who in the 70s as the companion Joe Grant, one of the best... one of my personal favourite companions from the classic series. Showed up in Sarah Jane Adventures as well, the spin-off. So, yeah, I think she does live in... I think she did live in Australia for a very long time. She's back in London now, I think. But, yeah, just really random. Just being like, wait, hang on a second. That's a Doctor Who character.
She was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Rachel Friend also soon, like a couple years after this, was on Neighbours for a little while.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Nice.
Which I'm familiar with only as, I've only... tangentially.
Yes.
But obviously it's a huge show over there. Or was. I think it just ended recently.
It ended
it's like
recently.
A soap opera, isn't it?
It is. I wouldn't say it's more popular in the UK than it is in Australia.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I think there's a substantial portion of Australia that does watch it. I think it was like definitely a big icon. For just like a really long-running TV show, where they've just slowly, over the course of the seasons, you swap out characters. It's the Ship of Theseus sort of show that we had, where eventually all the cast has been replaced by a completely different one, and has new stories and other things.
Yeah.
I think that's sort of cool.
There's a lot of big names.
Never watched it myself because it had zero appeal to me, but, I like the concept. I like the idea.
But anyway, they're kind of the main characters. Okay, what happens? We've got them, Cody, Wendy, and Jane go out for a walk in the bush. That's when they start referring to Indigenous Australians racistly. They really kind of tick off all the possible ways to refer to them. We get, I won't repeat them, but they really do go through
the list of as many slurs as you can think of, Sandro. Go too.
And as soon as it started, I was like, oh no. No.
Yeah. Up to this point, it was all a bit of drama. He's getting in trouble with the cops and other things, all these stuff. All these girls are after him for some reason. Like the Wendy like slaps a girl or something about it. I think I don't remember. She has a fight with another girl over him. Yeah. And then, they go out on this quote-unquote picnic.
Where Jane steals her mum's cigarettes, so we have kids smoking.
Yeah.
Which is...
well, that was out of nowhere. That
80s,
was very funny, back in the day, it was good for you, That's what the doctor would prescribe.
But, they go down to Devil's Knob, which I think is also referred to as Devil's Cock at one point, which is pretty funny.
They do make a joke of that,
Yeah. But down there, they see is it a dead body, Robert? That's where we get the jump scare, isn't it?
Yeah.
We find a dead body.
Yeah.
We saw him earlier where it had that he gets like terrified of the thing in the lake, which is really tragic once you learn what it actually was. But he got terrified and then like backed into the corner where he got stuck or something. So he just died.
Yeah.
I guess, don't the cops or somebody says like that he had a heart attack? At least they suspect that he had a heart attack.
Yeah, that's right.
But then it's also like, how long ago? Because he's like a skeleton by the time the kids find him. I'm like, did that opening sequence happen on like months ago or like weeks ago, days ago. How long has he been sitting out there?
Yeah, exactly.
It could have been, and I'd believe it. So far, this is all pretty Australian, I will say, though. Like a child smoking and this guy dying and no one knowing about it for months.
Yeah.
I mean, it all checks out,
Yeah, that happens now. All that happens now.
Yeah.
So, we get that. We get a scene where they're gonna eat a witchetty grub. That's a very Australian thing. I guess, maybe, I think. I don't know if you have that, Robert. I feel like that's pretty Australian.
That's pretty Australian. They do use the term grub on Bluey, so I'm I'm Australian. I'm like not fluent in Australian, but I'm like there's reference points now. Thanks to those cartoon dogs. That helps.
That's good. I think through Bluey you'd probably be familiar with terms like rack off and stuff like that, which they say in the film as well. So pretty good stuff. But yeah, around this point I was like, this movie, it's leaning into that 80s kids thing where the film is a little bit scary because the girls go out on a barge that floats out into the middle of the pond, lake, creek, whatever it is, who knows, but it goes out into the middle of that, and then Cody's got to like swim over, and I think a head touches his foot, and you're like, oh my god, there's a severed head in the fucking water.
Oh, I think it was just like to me it looked like a milk carton, right?
Well, at first
that
I
he just
was
stood
like,
on top of.
Yeah, well, because I couldn't tell if it was meant to be a head but it didn't look like a head, or if it was going to turn out to not be a head.
Well, I think he just mistakes it for a head or something, and he starts freaking out. Which made sense.
Yeah, he just feels like a rounded, like smooth surface. It's like, oh, it's just like that guy's head. And that just that's a big leap of logic on Cody's part, I feel like.
Yeah. But they're doing some investigations. They're like, what is going on in this water? And I think that's around the time where, is it Gaza tells Cody kind of some of the like folklore about this area. And because we have our good American friend on the show, Robert, what's going on? What's the lore? What's the legends?
He tells him it's Donkajin Hole, home of a bunyip.
Yep.
Which is a monster that eats rocks, breathes fire. It's sort of, I guess, kind of Loch Ness monster-esque in its description. So that's kind of the notion Cody is operating from for like the rest of the movie, basically. That's what's down there.
There's a bunyip in the which that is a very like, I like that they bring in the concept of bunyips. I don't know if it's particularly relevant to how this movie. Bunyips were always kind of like, I don't know, they're kind of like devil dog type.
I have the page up here for a section later. I could tell you all about them if you'd like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So Bunyip is a legendary amphibious creature from Aboriginal folklore. From Weber. I think I pronounced that right. Yeah, it depicted as like an evil demon or spirit or something. Would crawl out of the water, grab you in its jaws, and it kind of looks from some of the depictions like a weird cat creature.
Yeah.
Aquatic cat creature that would grab you and drag you into the water.
Yeah.
Pretty spooky.
It's pretty cool. They're usually known to be in like areas of like shallow water, so like swamps and creeks and stuff like that is kind of the legend. But I feel like Australians of our generation would know them for the chocolate that was our version of Freddo Frog, but it was a bunyip. It's just a little chocolate creature. That was
oh god, yeah, I see it.
Yeah, it's great.
But yeah, he's like, oh man, I got to get more lore on this. So he does the most white, the most white thing ever for the next half hour, which he just goes around and like he bothers anyone who looks like an Indigenous Australian that he comes across. He's like, surely you know what this is about.
just ask every non-white person about what's going on. Yep. I mean, surely one of them's got to know, right? And it's like, ooh.
It's like a guy doing construction, and he just walks up to me like, "Hey, what do you know about this?" It's just like no rhyme or reason.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah.
And he's talking about the Donkajin, which I was like, oh, I've never heard of the Donkajin before. That sounds like a cool Aboriginal creature story that I haven't learnt about as a kid. That's strange. I thought I'd be familiar with this story's premise, but like I'll look this up. You know, yep. I'll look up whatever this is, and then that's weird. I'm watching this movie and I can't seem to find any links to whatever this is talking about. That's weird. Oh, well, I'll finish the movie and look it up later, you know. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's just a compound word for donkey engine? That's dumb as hell.
Yeah.
Spoilers for the end of the movie, but he's chasing this mystical Donkajin, which is like some strange Aboriginal creature, and it's like, ooh, but it's just a shorten for donkey engine, which is a type of steam engine.
Yeah.
Not specifically the thing that is in the water, but it's related to it.
Yes.
So which is why it's called that, and yeah. It's pretty insensitive, I would say.
I mean,
you know,
there's so much that you could have just used something real and not made it up. Absolutely. It's like a mixture of that and then the kids being like, this particular area is a frog dreaming, which again is like, oh, that particular area over there, that's heaven, which is not I don't really care for how they use that. They also describe the Donkajin as a Kurdicha, I think is how you pronounce it, which they say is a term for indigenous magic, but that's actually essentially a term for like shamans that they had in some of the groups around Victoria and South Australia as well. So they get that wrong. Just one of the just one more thing in the pile. But eventually he's told to go meet a guy called Charlie Pride. So he goes. It's one of the many parts in the movie where Cody goes on like a very long trip away from his hometown. He gets on a boat. The boat takes him on a delivery route around a river, and then eventually he gets off the river, and then it's nighttime, and he's left alone in the bush, and then he goes to a pier.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give this movie credit where credit's due. It is very Australian, just having kids just leave and having no parental like supervision whatsoever. Yeah. I mean, that's real Australia in a nutshell, you know.
That's true.
Meanwhile, Gaza gets asked about it a few times throughout the movie. They're like, "So what's going on with Cody?" Like, I don't know. He comes and goes as he pleases.
Yeah.
And we're like, yeah, we can see that.
Yeah, we watched it. Yeah.
I did think that sequence with Charlie Pride, the whole, dance with the devil sort of idea. I thought that scene was pretty well executed, like very atmospheric, and
absolutely.
had
a sense of foreboding that a lot of the movie didn't quite nail.
And I liked it. It also seemed like a test, you know? He was testing his bravery and his conviction sort of thing of this kid. I'm like, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to walk up to like an animatronic creature and kind of confront it and stuff, which he eventually does, which, it's
like it's not just some kid being a pest. It's like this kid is like, actually committed to what he believes in.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, but it is true. I feel like what you were saying earlier, Zach, him just going off and doing this for a whole day and Gaza being like, yeah, that's what happens. That is very Australian. I don't really know anyone who's done that personally, but it is a very like Australian thing, I think, in some of our media.
It's less common nowadays.
Yeah.
I think with the introduction of internet and other things, people are a lot better with and having a phone on you. It's quite hard to lose track of a child when you can press a button on your phone and call them to ask them where they are at 2 a.m. in the morning.
No, track their location on their iPhone or whatever the case would be. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You know, so it's a bit easier to keep track of people, but definitely I've met people who have had stories about rural growing up in Australia in the outback, just being like, oh yeah, we'd go play in the old tin shed down 20 miles south, you know, and we'd poke a few snakes, as you do, it's just growing up.
I remember one of my favorite Australian TV shows as a kid was a show called Skippy, the bush kangaroo, which was just about a bunch of kids hanging out with a kangaroo. And for that show, they would go weeks just being out in the bush with their kangaroo, never seeing their parents because they didn't want to pay the actors who were playing the parents for a couple of episodes, I guess. But they were just out for ages, and it was just accepted as normal. So I think that's definitely Yeah,
I definitely have not watched a single episode of Skippy.
Skippy?
This looks great though.
I recommend it. Skippy the bush kangaroo. That's another one for the list of Australian shows that we should do.
I'm learning so much.
Yeah, Skippy's good.
I have to track down all the spear and watch all this Australian kids television.
Yeah.
I'm getting caught up.
Skippy is from the 60s, though, so I don't know actually if that would hold up particularly well. Actually, having a look at it now, I don't know. What happens after that, Robert? Where are we up to?
So Cody gets back into inventor mode.
Yeah,
and he builds a cannon, which if the Dance with the Devil scene didn't establish the balls that this kid has, like the fact that he builds a cannon is like, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna take it on myself kind of energy.
Yeah.
I appreciated that. It does nothing, of course, because as we learned from Gaza, this thing is like impenetrable to spears and all other kinds of weapons. Like you can't like harpoon it or anything. Then he does the whole idea with the fishbowl and makes himself a diving helmet and goes in there with the Wendy's help. She tries to stop him, and then because he has no interest in her, he's like, okay, well then fine, I don't need your help, but I'm gonna go down anyway.
Yep.
She's like, please don't do this. He's like, okay, I'm good. You're free to go. Even though she's like really bending over backwards to indulge this whole quest, if you will, that he's on.
She's like, go, kid.
Go, kid. Exactly. Chase that spirit. So he goes into the pond right after, we see the whole, and this happens multiple times throughout the movie where the wind rushes, the windmill spins, and then there's that gurgling in the pond, and he goes in and doesn't come out. And so then Wendy panics and rallies all like 15 people in the town.
Yes.
To come in and find out what happened to Cody. They all assume he drowned. There's also we should also back it up a second too. There was also a really good scene, I thought, between Henry Thomas and Tony Berry, who plays Gaza, where he's like, Gaza says, you have to, you can't go there. You need to leave it alone. I want you to drop it. How many times? I don't ask anything of you, blah, blah, blah. And then Henry Thomas showing off his ET chops here again, being like, when you were my age, would you be told, what would you do if you were told not to do something? That kind of. Yeah. So I thought that was actually a pretty strong dramatic scene.
Yeah, definitely.
With the two of them. And you could tell, and it sets up Gaza's obviously emotional reaction to realizing that this kid he was entrusted to watch probably drowned in Duncan Hole.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did think it came out of nowhere, the scene. Yeah. I think it goes from 1 to 11 pretty quick, but it is 100%. A good scene.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it is a good scene. Honestly, I think there's a lot of problems with the movie. The writing, the cinematography, the editing at points as well, the music. But the acting, I think, not just from Henry Thomas, but I think, honestly, from probably the whole cast is really good. Mm-hmm. And that scene in particular, was one that I definitely wrote down. But I do feel like the tone is then quickly ruined with, him going under the water with the fish tank on his helmet, and then he steps on a rake and gets knocked in the head. and I was like, oh, okay. All right. But anyway, he's supposedly been killed by the Donkagen underwater. Wendy rushes back, tells everyone, and they're like, all right, we're going to drain it. We'll get him out. Is that the scene as well where Wendy has like a creepy dream sequence? That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, after you just saw your boy crush / best friend just fucking die, just drown in front of you, you'd probably be a bit messed up.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely.
Yeah.
But then, they go, she, like, visits his, like, laboratory, his workshop.
Yeah.
And there, she sees, a diagram for what the Donkajin actually is, which is this, like, digging claw mechanism that used air pressure to, eventually, like, push itself up, which is why it keeps, like, bubbling up. And she's like, oh my god, wait a minute. It's this thing full of air. Maybe he's alive down there.
Yeah. So she runs down and rallies everyone, being like, he's actually underneath. It's a metal thing. It isn't even a monster. We can go get him. And so they call in a chopper that has the Westpac Bank logo on it. And I was immediately like, yes, we got bank placement in this movie as well. That is extremely accurate, though. I think if you do have an emergency situation, particularly in Victoria, there is usually a chopper, a helicopter with the Westpac logo on it. That's a very Australian thing. But
absolutely,
it was pretty funny. Anyway, they jump in and they rescue him, but his foot is stuck. I think the whole arm of the vehicle that's under the water kind of comes up at that point as well, and they take him out of it. His foot is stuck, but they take him out, and then it's slowly revealed to everyone. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's a big swamp creature," and then all of the swamp
Cody's
stuff
in
falls
its
off.
mouth. Cody's in its mouth. That's where his foot is stuck.
Yeah.
I'd like to point out that they don't actually help him. He just manages to free himself at this moment, and they just so happen to be there to try and rescue him. If they had not been there, I think the circumstances would not have changed, where he's just like, help, I'm stuck, and then he gets himself unstuck and then he gets out, which I thought was very funny. But yeah, he knocks off all the seaweed and, well, not seaweed, swamp weed and other things that are covering it. And it's just revealed it's a big, like, digging implement.
But it does stay up, kind of like, it also growls, and I understand that's probably the pressure of it, but it is growling and rusting and moving around like it is a creature. We later, it's at the very end of the movie, there maybe was a spirit in it, actually, because of some stuff we'll talk about in a second. But it was a little weird where you're like, okay, you're saying it's just a tractor, but it's also acting like a dinosaur. So what are we trying to do?
Yeah, it's like one of those like excavators, like you'd see at like a construction site.
Yeah.
So in that way, I guess Cody was on the right track, asking the Aboriginal construction guy, they're like, hey, what's up? In that pond, you must know something about it. It feels like it's machinery of some kind. He was actually pretty close. So props to Cody
I hate to bring up another childhood TV show, but I don't know if you guys are familiar with Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh yeah.
Well, in the Thomas the Tank Engine movie,
The Magic Railroad,
I think, yes, The Magic Railroad, one of the. Have we not done that for the podcast yet?
When we went to see Mortal Kombat 2, you were like, I'm going to make us review Thomas the Tank Engine, The Magic Railroad.
I'm still going to make us do that one, because that was one of my favorite movies as a kid. But in that, the villain is a electronic train, and he has a giant claw that looks almost identical to this weird claw thing, and it is a sinister villain in this movie. Like, this is like give your kid nightmares sort of villain, this guy.
Yeah, right.
So I'll give him credit. I think the movie did well with the giant claw kind of dinosaur creature thing. It's like, oh, what is this? And it's like, oh, it's just a piece of machinery. Okay, all right.
That actually is a really good question, and I want us all to answer it, but Robert, I'll ask you first. If you were a kid, if you stumbled across this as a kid, I'd say probably like 10 to 14, do you think you would have liked this more? Do you think it would have been in your rotation? Or do you think you would have been like, what the hell is this, and just turned it off?
I think I would have liked it more for sure.
Yeah, okay.
I think that's I think you have, I mean, for better or worse, you have, I think, just lower standards when you're a kid. You're like, oh, stuff's happening.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, cool. As an adult, I'm like, I could be doing other things instead of watching this movie. What I do for my friends, Sandra and Zach.
We appreciate it.
But no,
much.
I think you're very welcome. No, I think for its target audience, I could see if somebody grew up with this and they have like a soft spot for it, like those Redditors, I guess. I could see that happening. Yeah. I mean, I think just coming to it as yeah, exactly. It's an evergreen comment. Coming to this movie as an adult, I'm just like, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know? It looks like Diesel 10, by the way, is the name of that villain from Thomas and the Magic
Car.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a shared universe. Diesel 10 has a cameo in this movie at the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's all connected. E.T., Thomas the Tank Engine, all connected through this movie.
Yes, exactly.
I'll say 10 to 14.
Yeah.
No, I'm not enjoying this movie. 7 to 10, though. This movie slaps, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to say 7 to 10. I'm like, this movie's awesome. Look, I love this kid guy doing his thing. I'm also going to go do dangerous stunts and leave my house irresponsibly. That sounds awesome. Whereas 10 to 14, I'm like, I'm bored. I'm going to go watch the Lord of the Rings or something, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. I think I'm probably in the same boat. I think I would have liked this probably up to the age of like 11 or something, but I think I would have probably enjoyed it. I don't know. I'm thinking back on some of the random 80s movies I watched as a kid.
Again,
this would definitely...
It's not the worst movie we've watched, and I feel like when you're a kid, you don't understand how racist it is at the time, right? You know,
exactly.
You're like, I don't know, this seems accurate to me. I don't know.
I think even with that though, Robert, I mean, Zach and I, we don't have kids personally, but you do. Aside from the racism, would you show this to your kids?
What a statement.
Aside from the racism, obviously.
aside from that, of course. I don't know. I don't know that it clears that bar.
Yeah.
It's hard enough with all the kid stuff out there now. It's hard enough for me to get my kids to watch the things that I hold dear, to get them to watch like the Willows,
kids,
the Never-Ending Stories.
Please watch Bluey with me.
Yeah.
Please.
Well, they watch Bluey more so, but like the old.
Yeah, they probably
movies,
like Bluey actually. Yeah.
Today's kids are like, this is an old movie. Why am I watching this? So it's like you have to work hard to get their attention.
Yeah.
I don't know that this would be worth the effort. I would say that my daughter does love E.T. and she's seen like, Return to Oz and Willow and movies like in that vein.
Nice.
Very good.
Never-Ending Story.
I don't know that we've shown her that. I think we keep meaning to and we haven't gotten to it. But I love those.
Sandra wins this round.
I love that one. So definitely that's on the list.
Yeah. I love that one. Sandra is known Never-Ending Story hater.
That's true. I don't like it. I think 2's better.
So he would not show it.
I like Never-Ending Story 2.
I grew up with 2 as well.
Yes.
I think it's...
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah, I grew up with both of them. I think for a long time, I saw the first one when I was really little, and so I didn't revisit it as much, but I had the second one on VHS, so I actually have
you really need to check out number 3. Number 3 is the best one in the series.
3 is pretty...
I don't know that I believe you, Zach.
I don't, I mean, yeah.
Speaking of movies that were worse than this one.
We did review it. It is on Patreon, though, so people have to pay for it. But that was wow. That's all I'll say about it. Jack Black.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, so right at the end of the film, everything's sort of wrapped up, and what's his face, E.T. boy goes back to the lake to be like, this is where I nearly died. Yes, I will contemplate. And
I would treasure this place always.
And what does he see across the other side of the sort of canyon? He sees the elder guy,
Charlie Pride.
Yes, except this time he's in like full shaman gear. And there's kind of like some dreaming magic going on. And it's like, oh, maybe there was a Donkajin after all.
Yep.
Because the Donkajin in the lake just eats the entire construction site.
Oh, yes. Everything goes into the water and goes into the lake. Yeah, all of the shed, the fucking windmill, everything. Yeah.
I just don't know why he didn't do that earlier. You know what I mean?
Well, there is that scene, and it's one of my favorite scenes in the movie, actually, where Charlie Pride is watching two of I think it's the cops, and they're on the edge of, because they've cordoned off Devil's Knob, and these two cops are right on the edge of it, and they're like, oh my god, my watch stopped working. One of them's like, oh, mine's still working. I'm going to put my hand further into this area. Oh, it's still working, but we're scared. We're going to run away. And Charlie Pride's there just like laughing at them. I think that's probably why he didn't do this initially, because he was like, it's kind of funny. That's a little bit funny.
Oh, right. Yeah. He's messing. It's messing with white people. So,
he's trolling the whites. That's pretty funny.
But also,
yeah, that's pretty good.
But also, none of it explains how that old guy died.
No, so did he actually see the Donkagen, or did he just see what he thought was the Donkagen?
He could have just been old and had a heart attack, guys.
Yeah.
I think he could have been bitten by a spider. I don't know,
Maybe we don't know when that scene's set. I know it would have to have been within 10 years of the movie coming out, because Henry Thomas's character has met the guy. But I was going to say, like, maybe he'd just seen Jaws. And so he was just really scared.
He was just on edge,
And then he died of fright.
He is like napping in a boat when he's like startled, and he has a bottle, so he could have been blind drunk in this thing, and then he's woken up from a sleep. He's disorientated. He doesn't know where he is. He's drunk, and then suddenly the story of Jaws is just flashing into his mind. He's like, holy shit. Also, it's a lot of bubbles. It's a pretty aggressive amount of bubbles, So he's like, holy crap, this is the biggest shark.
Anyway, that's the...
Justin, you thought it was safe to go into Donkagen Hole?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Oh, dear. That's the movie. I don't think I have much else to say about it, really. It's fine. It's not very good.
Here's the question that I was left with at the end of this movie. Do we think this would have been do we think this would have worked better if we didn't have that last scene with Charlie Pride? If it just turned out that there wasn't a Donkagen, and then it's like, oh, the frog dreaming with just the lessons we learned along the way kind of thing. Would we at least like respect that as a creative choice, or do we like that it doubles back on, haha, it is supernatural after all? Because I feel like you spend an hour and a half building up to a reveal that is undercut, and then we just get a vague confirmation that the magic is real. We don't actually see an actual monster.
Yeah.
And then, credits. Do you think it would have been better without that last scene and just... and then Cody lived happily ever after, learned not to mess with stuff he didn't understand.
That is a great point. I definitely would have preferred they didn't have the last scene. Yeah. And it was just we made a mistake, but we learned, that sort of thing. Mostly because this film didn't earn that last bit. I feel like if there was some unexplained things earlier in the film that never got explained, like some things that, science can't explain, that sort of thing. Yeah. But the film doesn't go into traditional Aboriginal sort of things at all properly. It doesn't, doesn't really dip into that. It just kind of makes up whatever it wants. Yeah. So it doesn't really earn that sort of ending, I feel personally. I would have much preferred is like, white people, they don't go on up, they build a thing, and now it's fucking with them. Haha, lol. Silly white people.
Yeah. I think it would have worked as a good, coming-of-age story as well, where it's like, Henry Thomas, don't run off into the bush by yourself and get trapped underneath some piece of mining equipment.
Exactly. Look, Gaza cares about you. Wendy cares about you. Yeah. Pay attention to the people in your life instead of, there must be a monster in that water, guys.
I would have actually even preferred it if the ending just didn't have the white boy there. We just see the guy rock up and is like, yep, I'm going to destroy all this now. And just we just watch him destroy all this and there's no explanation.
Only we see that happening. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, only we see that happening. Yeah, the white people don't see that happening. Yeah. I think that would have been a cooler ending.
And then it ends with Charlie Pride will return in...
Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah.
And he winks at the camera. Ding.
Yeah.
80s freeze frame.
Yep.
He winks at the camera, jumps in the air. Yeah. Freeze frame. The most 80s way possible to end a movie.
Perfect. No. I see no problems with that. I would.
Oh, yeah. And then the credits rolled, and then at the end of the credits, Deadpool pops out, and it's like, you still here? You know,
right.
The movie's over.
It's the same year, I think, as Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which was
true. Yeah,
Deadpool.
definitely.
So there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Frog Dreaming could have beat him to it.
He's dribbling the ball with everything on the line. He's driving down the pitch. He's facing price hikes and cuts past him. Carrier contracts, tries to block him. Oh, he leaves him in the dust. He's at the edge of the box. He cuts past the nonstop group chat trash talk. He clears on goal. He shoots. Goal! Unlimited data for $25 a month forever!
Visit your local Boost Mobile store today to get unlimited data with a price that never changes. Boost Mobile. After 30 GB, customers may experience lower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost $25 unlimited plan.
All new drinks are now at McDonald's. Like the strawberry watermelon refresher, the mango pineapple refresher with popping boba, and the Sprite berry blast topped with cold foam. Who knew ice-cold drinks could be so fire?
The sun's out, and so is our new drink lineup. From the Blackberry Passion Fruit Refresher to the Dirty Dr. Pepper. And they all pair perfectly with some fries. Refreshers contain caffeine. Va-da-ba-ba-ba.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for everybody's least and most favorite part of the show. Ranking Review Rumble.
Whoa.
It's the part, thank you, Sergeant. It's the part of the show where I have gotten reviews from as many websites as I could bother and cobble them together in a random assortment for you to listen to me reading out the reviews, and then you have to guess which site they are from. You can also guess what score they rated it, but that's kind of like just a bonus thing now. But yes, the sites I've gotten today's reviews from is not many, because we once again did a weird old movie that not many people care about. So I have gotten reviews from Rotten Tomatoes, Letterboxd, and me, because I have also written a potential 0 to 5 amount of reviews in this segment. Because I could choose how many reviews I get from any site. They could all be from one site. None of them could be from one site. You know, you don't know. Yeah. But for the sake of things, I couldn't find a review on Common Sense Media, which was so sad. I really wanted a Common Sense Media one for this one.
That would have been ideal, definitely.
Yeah. All right. Do you understand the concept of the game?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to start off. Oh, and I've also changed all the usernames into mythological Australian creatures.
Okay.
Which is one of them might be the bunyip. First up, the rainbow serpent.
Yes.
Are you familiar with the rainbow serpent?
Sounds vaguely familiar, but not.
I'm sure Sandra is familiar. It's a pretty popular one. It's one of the creator myths.
Yes.
The rainbow serpent is the colossal-sized serpent, giant serpent that originally slithered through Australia, pushing up the dirt and making the mountains and valleys and other things.
Why wasn't he in this movie, is my question.
Yeah, I know. That would have been a great creature. There's a lot of cool ones. Trust me, they get better as we go, because I found a few. One of them's my favorite. We'll get to him. But also, the rainbow serpent scared a bunch of frogs, and the frogs then released their water, because in Aboriginal teachings, frogs just hold a lot of water, and that created all the lakes and rivers and creeks.
That was my connection between the two movies.
Yes. All right. The Rainbow Serpent says, I'd like to see an 80s movie where the smart kid doesn't act completely stupid for once.
Yeah, that is a good one.
So I'm going to start off with Sandro. What review site do you think this is from?
That's a really good question. Because it's a joke. It's kind of a joke review. It's a funny review. It's either you or Letterboxd.
It's pretty funny.
Don't think it's Rotten Tomatoes. I don't think you'd start off with you though, because you have done that a few times recently from memory. I'm going to say Letterboxd.
All right. What do you think they rated it?
2.
2. Okay. Robert, what are we thinking?
I think it's also probably Letterboxd. Definitely not Rotten Tomatoes. I can't imagine a professional critic being like kind of a snide remark. I guess I
will
could.
stress.
I guess I could
only
imagine.
grab user reviews. I never grab professional reviews.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Because they're all corporate shills.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
People who go and see like movie releases when they like first release it, they're all corporate shills.
All corporate shills. Yeah, that's right. I had nothing but good things to say about the Moana remake.
Is that check already cleared, favorite. Sandro?
Check, yes. My 1-star review, worst film of the year. I got a good paycheck for that one.
Nice. For the sake of mixing it up, I'll say Rotten Tomatoes then is a user review.
You could say Letterboxd. I'd say I'd pick Letterboxd. I'd even go so far as to say it could be my review. You know?
Well, you would know though, so like.
Yeah,
that's true.
Not really
that's
fair
true.
for you to guess.
It's not fair for you to say.
Yeah.
I'll say Rotten Tomatoes. So
what do you think they scored it?
I'll say 1.5.
Okay.
Well, Sandro gets this round because it's Letterboxd. Letterboxd was for that one. And they rated a 2.5. So slightly above what you'd think, but hey, not bad. Okay. All right, the next review is by Barme.
Barme?
Yes, Barme, who is the original creator god.
Okay.
For the Aboriginal people. He is known as the All-Father or the Sky Father. And literally it's the story of how he descended down and just created everything. Gave people mountains and skies and other things. He also taught the people how to sing and do cultural stuff, you know.
Right.
So he's a big important guy. He says, right up there with the Goonies. Great kids movie.
I mean, I feel like they're both as problematic as each other, so that's fair. They're both.
So, Robert, what are we thinking for this one?
I will say, I'll you know what? I'll stick with Rotten Tomatoes because it's going to pay off for me eventually.
Yeah. What do you think they rated it?
I'm going to say that they gave it 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Sounds pretty positive. Right. So
that's good. That's good. Yeah. Does sound pretty positive. Up there with the Goonies, but maybe I'm going to go the opposite route and say they don't like the Goonies. So I'm going to say it's a 2. I'll go 2 again. And honestly, for the sake of variety, I'll also go Letterboxd again. Because it could go either way with this one. This one's really hard. Yeah. I don't think it's you though, Zach. I think you would add something funny in there. And this is not.
But it would be funny if they were like, right up with the Goonies. And they're like, 1-star garbage.
Yes. Yeah.
But for this case, it is actually Rotten Tomatoes. Oh. And it is a 4 out of 5.
Wow, 2
so
points
that's a bonus point. Yeah, wow. Well done. Well done. The next reviewer is my favorite mythological one, which is Tadalik the Frog.
Oh, I know this one, yes.
Yeah, Tadalik the Frog. He's my favorite Aboriginal story because it's about this giant frog that was so greedy, he drank up all the water of Australia.
Yep.
He drank all of it. And so all the other animals had to conspire against him to essentially, I think, make him laugh. And so that he would drop all his water and like replenish all the lakes and stuff and stop this giant drought which hit the entirety of Australia.
Yes.
So yeah, my goat.
Absolutely.
This guy drinking all the water. He says, once again, the real monster was white people.
Yep. Yep. I'm gonna say that's yours. I think that's yours, Zach. And what did you give this? You gave it an oldie. I'm gonna say 2 again. It'll be right eventually.
You'll be right eventually, right? If you just rate everything 2.
Yeah.
Robert, what are you thinking?
I think my immediate thought was it's Zach's. I'll say 2.5.
Okay.
Because I think we've said enough of there's some stuff in here that works to not like necessarily to go like kind of more middling. Which would be
but
like 2.5 would be.
If you remember when we got to the oldies thing, I did say it was an oldie like guaranteed, which does mean I'm down on the lower end.
Yeah.
So if you do think it's mine, then it's probably not in the middle.
Yeah. All right, we'll go back to 1. We'll dial it way back. We'll go extreme the other way. I also want to point out, as the American on this call, I'm Googling each of these creatures as you're bringing them up, and I encourage people to do that because there's a lot of cool artwork out there.
Oh yeah,
of all these guys.
It's sick.
Like the frog just like at the top of a cliffside with like a waterfall of coming out of its mouth as animals and everyone look on. Like there's a lot of cool stuff.
That's a good classic kids story.
Yeah.
This frog that decided to just drink all the water.
Yeah,
he's
absolutely.
Great. I love him.
Very good.
But yes, that was from me.
Yes.
You both clocked that instantly. I'm like, come on, guys. Someone else could have wrote that. But it was 2 out of 5. So I think Sandro gets that point for sticking to his guns on 2 out of 5.
I got
well
it.
Done. The next review is by Bunyip, which we talked about earlier. And that's the reason I had the Google page open, was because the Bunyip. He says, how is this not listed anywhere as a musical folk horror?
Musical?
Yeah.
Huh.
Robert, where are we thinking this from?
I'm still puzzled on musical myself. I'm like, did the Bunyip himself write like a whole bunch of songs
maybe I'll
for
get
this,
Sandro
and then it got
then.
cut?
Sandro, where do you think this is from?
No, I'm also still caught up in the musical. I feel like it's got to be Rotten Tomatoes because it's not a good review. So I'll go Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I agree.
It seemed positive. So I might go
whoever wrote this was an idiot.
There's one song where they go to like a dance. That's about it though. So I don't. Yeah. 3.5.
Robert, what are we thinking?
I'll say Letterboxd just to mix it up, and I'll say 3.
3.
Would this have been better with the music if this was a musical and then Cody singing about what's in the lake or whatever? Would that
no.
Okay.
No. Well, maybe it's a really good it's hard to say it wouldn't be better if it's a bad film to begin with, from my perspective, right?
Lean in one way or another. Either it's got to be much better or much worse.
Yep.
Well, you are right. It is Letterboxd. Unfortunately, I made a terrible error here because this is actually Sandro's review of The Wicker Man. I am so sorry. I don't know. Of the original Wicker Man. You said, how is this not listed anywhere as the musical?
I mean, The Wicker Man is a musical. The original has a lot of musical stuff in that.
I don't know how this review ended up here. That's I am so sorry for that. Well, I guess Robert gets the point. You did rate that 4 out of 5 though, Sandro.
I did give it 4. I quite like the original. It's a good one.
Yeah, I don't know how you didn't remember that, Sandro,
Because we did it like 6 years ago.
Robert gets the point.
Wow.
All right, and then finally, it's my favorite creature that I found while researching, which is Chinny Kinnick.
Chinny Kinnick? I don't think I know this one.
Chinny Kinnick was a dreaded cannibal giant. East of the Murray River, who terrorized the people, who was only stopped after his 2 uncles tracked him down in a storm, and when he hid in a cave, they blocked off the cave so he would starve to death.
Wow.
Yeah. But look out for cannibal giants.
I actually don't think I've heard of that one, but I have spent a lot of time in and around the Murray River, so
Yeah. There's like a well-known cave system near the Murray River that's said to me that was the cave that's referenced.
Right.
He's not a super popular story thing. He's just like one of those, like, he was an evil dude. And then yeah. Chitty Kinnick says, this is what would happen if you swam in the DC reflecting pool.
Robert can go first.
yeah. As the American of this, how's the DC reflecting pool doing at the moment?
I want to say that's a Zach. That's a pretty current reference, and I don't know how many other people other than the three of us are rewatching Frog Dreaming right now. Maybe after this episode, there'll be a whole swath of Frog Dreaming reviews coming in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
But I'm gonna say that's another Zach.
Okay.
And we know your rating was 2, so are you switching it up now?
I don't know. Is that something I would do? I don't think so.
Probably.
I have changed my review to mess up Sandra before in the past. That is true.
You have, yes.
Yeah.
I'll stick with 2 for now.
Stick with 2.
Yeah.
I can't go past it being a Zach one, but for the sake of variety, no one's reviewing things on Rotten Tomatoes anymore, so I'll say Letterboxd. It's pretty funny, but it's the sort of review that you'd give a movie that you give a really low score because you can't think of anything to say about it, so you just make a joke. So I'll say 1. 1 in Letterboxd for me.
This is Letterboxd, actually.
Wow.
Yeah. But it was 2.5. So there you go. And at the time, I think when I wrote these up, it was the most recent review, and I thought it was very funny. So
Good one.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, how about that? And the final scores are 4 each. So we got a tie, which is really good because Robert, if you lost, you wouldn't be able to plug your stuff. That's
true.
The rules of the show. But because it's a tie, then you're still able to. So go ahead.
Fantastic.
You got a bunch of podcasts, a bunch of stuff going on. Where can people hear you? What can they hear you talk about?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can check out both Close Watch and Franchise Detours. Those are the podcasts that I have with the Crooked Table Productions. Obviously, Sandra's been on those shows a lot. We talked most recently about Superman 3. Zach, anytime you want to come on, standing invitation. And you can hear me, of course, you can hear me and my co-host, Darren Lundberg, talk about Bluey on Back to Bluey. All 3 of those shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. You can follow me also on Instagram, Blue Sky, and Threads at Crooked Table.
Excellent. Do you have any big franchises coming up for Franchise Detours? Do you have anything on the horizon?
I'm definitely going to do the Toy Story franchise next. I've kind of been on a bit of a hiatus with that one because I've been focusing. Oh, that's actually a good reminder. I've been doing the Mel Brooks movies over on our Crooked Table YouTube channel. So I've been kind of, because he just turned 100 recently as of this recording. And Spaceballs, the new one, is coming out next year. So I'm kind of
that's also
going through his filmography. So month to month, there'll be new Mel Brooks episodes. So people could check that out.
Excellent. That sounds fantastic. Well, links in the episode description. You're also on the socials and the Letterboxd and everything. People can go and check you out there as well. Zach and I are on all of that. Do you like the show? Oh, no, you can't. You can review the show on Spotify. That helps. We're on all the socials. Give us a follow. Say hi if you've seen Frog Dreaming. I have a feeling that this one's going to get a bunch of YouTube comments. Whenever we review a more obscure film, we get a bunch of people asking where the movie was because they think the podcast is the movie. So if you're one of those people, thank you for listening to the whole episode, I guess. You're one of the only people who've ever done that and then commented, where's the movie? So that's pretty cool. But yes, drop a comment, leave a review, as mentioned on Spotify. Tell a friend about the show, that helps us out. If you've got some spare cash, though, patreon.com/Oldie But a Goodie Pod is where you can get bonus episodes. Zach, right now we're doing the Cagerama, which is our spotlight series on Nicolas Cage. For 6 months, we're doing, I think we're actually doing 8 Cage movies this time because we're doing a bunch of bonus battles. But the most recent episode was Spider Noir. We did the whole first season of that. And then coming out this week is our review of Red Rock West, which you found last year, Zach, which is a pretty fun film.
Yeah. It's funny that we have Robert on who's reviewing TV shows, because for the first time on the K-Drama, we did, and I think the first time on Patreon. Have we done any TV shows before that?
We reviewed Legion and The Gifted for our X-Men series.
That's true. That was the first TV show series I think we did on the Patreon. But first for the K-Drama, because he hasn't done any TV shows really.
No, this is his first one.
You know, it was great TV show. Great thoughts we had on that one. And Red West was very surprising, I'll say. I won't specify why.
I will agree with that. Surprising is a very good term for it. You can go check that one out on Wednesday on Patreon. But also, thanks to everyone who joined Patreon for free, you can also join for free and participate in polls that we post every now and then. The last poll that we posted was actually for the movie we're going to be reviewing next week. Because it's my final month of my Australian month, my final week of the Australian month, and I put up not just one movie option, I put up 4 movie options, but they were actually all 2 movies. Each movie option, I did some bonus battles.
Yes. Love a good bonus battle.
Now, Robert, I believe, actually one of the other most recent times you've been on the podcast was for a bonus battle, where we did 2 very old monster movivies.
Monster mash.
That format's always a bit of fun. So I put up 4 bonus battles on our Patreon. I'll quickly go through them now. One of the categories was crime comedies. I've got 2 crime comedies there called Idiot Box and Two Hands, which is about a bunch of people doing heists. A bunch of blokes doing heists. We also had serial killer thrillers, which was a bonus battle between Road Games, an Australian film with Jamie Lee Curtis, and Houseboat Horror, which is considered by many to be our most so bad it's good horror film. The most so bad it's good Australian horror film. It looks awful. We also had Mockumentary Horrors, which was a bonus battle between Lake Mungo, which is a phenomenal movie, and also The Tunnel, which I think is like a Cloverfield type film, which looks really fun. And the final bonus battle there I called Awful Aussie Blokes, because it was a battle between Romper Stomper, which is about Russell Crowe as a Nazi, and Chopper, which is about Eric Bana as an actual Australian criminal. So those were the 4 bonus battles there. Robert, out of all those, which one would you want to watch? Which one of those piques your interest?
Well, I've never seen Romper Stomper or Chopper, so possibly those, because I've heard the most about those because of Russell Crowe and Eric Bana's careers thereafter. So probably those.
Ooh, absolutely. All right, sounds good. Zach, how about you?
That one's hard to say. I like the idea of Romper Stomper and all that. Because I don't think I've seen that one. But what was the last one?
Chopper?
No. The last of the list.
That was the Romper Stomper one, yeah.
Oh yeah. Was it the second one then?
The mockumentary one. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the mockumentaries. Yeah. I like the idea of the mockumentaries. Does it and with the the handheld camera sort of thing?
Yeah,
I think that would be fun.
The Tunnel, is like handheld, and then I've seen Lake Mungo before. That's like a straight documentary, but it's horrifying. That movie's genuinely really scary.
Yeah,
I mean, if
I'd like
won,
to see that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we have a winner, and this one actually was a pretty clear winner. The winner, though, it actually won. I was very surprised. We had a 3-way tie for a very long time.
Whoa.
And then I put it up on my Instagram, and then one of them just took it and ran. And the winner is actually Crime Comedies one.
Whoa.
Yeah. Which I'm very excited for. Yeah, one of them is Idiot Box with Ben Mendelsohn, and then Two Hands with Heath Ledger. I hadn't really heard of either of these before finding them for this month of movies. Have you heard of any of them, Robert?
No, I haven't heard of either of those.
Okay.
I'm excited for a Heath Ledger movie. That would be good. I haven't seen much of what he's done other than The Dark Knight and all that, so that'd be awesome. I'm keen. And comedy?
Yeah.
It looks like it came out the same year as 10 Things I Hate About You, which my wife and I just recently rewatched.
Oh, that is a good one.
It's like Heath, in that moment, that version of Heath is what we're getting in that one. So interesting.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm actually really excited for this. I wanted to do all of them, obviously, is why I put them all up. But this one, these are 2 movies that looked really interesting. And they also look very similar. They're both about heists and stuff. So yeah, next week we'll do some crime comedies. I had the same connection between Frog Dreaming and all of these movies. I've been doing a bunch of connections over the past month, but there's one that I really want to get out of the way so that Zach can never do what I've done this month, just to make sure it never happens again. So I'm going to use the connection of Australia. All
right. Bro's sending Australia to the Shadow Realm.
That's right.
We will never, ever, ever do an Australian movie after this series. Literally ever.
Australia. Well, you used the connection of New Zealand at the start of the year, so I may as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is true. I'll cop that.
Knock another country out. So there we go. All right. Well, thanks for coming on, Robert. To end the show, though, we haven't done this in a while, but we used to end the show with like our favorite quote. I want you to say, what's your favorite like Australian term that you've picked up watching Bluey, talking to us, and also with Frog Dreaming?
Oh, yes. Yeah, what's your favorite one?
I'm trying to think of things that they say on Bluey a lot now, because it's a lot of... Bandit says biscuits a lot as a stand-in expletive, but that's not a thing that you guys say. That's just a Bluey related thing.
Yeah, that's a Bluey related thing.
I'm like, what would be... That's a good point.
You could also just swear.
They also say. Well, no, I'm not going to swear. I could though. But you asked about a Bluey related question, and for me to be like, cunt or something seems inappropriate.
I can say one of my favorite things that's now more popular overseas is the phrase "dollary dudes."
Oh, that's a good one.
Which was already a thing before Bluey, but has become a lot more popularized because of Bluey.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's also wackadoo. That's another one.
That's a good one.
There's a lot of those. Yeah, there's a lot. The Bluey's doing a lot to spread your culture throughout the world. So
absolutely,
I appreciate that.
He's dribbling the ball with everything on the line. He's driving down the pitch. He's facing price hikes and cuts past him. Carrier Contracts tries to block him. Oh, he leaves him in the dust. He's at the edge of the box. He cuts past the nonstop group chat trash talk. He clears on goal. He shoots. No! Unlimited data for $25 a month forever!
Visit your local Boost Mobile store today to get unlimited data with a price that never changes. Boost Mobile. After 30 GB, customers may experience lower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost $25 unlimited plan.
They say jack of all trades, master of none. Well, they haven't met the Kia Carnival Hybrid. Its 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty or its 242 horsepower engine. Maybe Jack should drive a multi-purpose Kia Carnival Hybrid. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Drive safely. See retailer for warranty details.
All new drinks are now at McDonald's. Like the strawberry watermelon refresher, the mango pineapple refresher with popping boba, and the Sprite berry blast topped with cold foam. Who knew ice cold drinks could be so fire?
The sun's out, and so is our new drink lineup. From the Blackberry Passion Fruit Refresher to the Dirty Dr. Pepper. And they all pair perfectly with some fries. Refreshers contain caffeine. Va-da-ba-ba-ba.